Alex, part 2 of this week's series.
Monday, we covered the model war and a finished work AI. Today, another major model and who is actually using any of this already. Welcome to the Apex Report. I'm Alex.
And I am Maya. Every week, we cover what actually changed in AI and translate it into something you can use in your own business.
Before we get into it, a quick word from our sponsor.
The Apex Report is brought to you by Apex Chatbot, AI receptionists, chatbots, and voice agents for small and mid-sized businesses. If you want someone or something answering your phone 24/7 and talking to your customers in plain language, check out our sponsor at apexchatbot.com.
Okay, 3 topics today. First topic. Google's flagship model, Gemini, is about to ship a major upgraded version to everyone.
When exactly?
Mid-July, according to the plan. So very soon. The biggest new thing about this model is that it can take in and understand a massive amount of text in a single pass.
Translate that for me. How massive are we talking?
Picture handing it in one conversation, not just a single contract, but an entire multi-year contract package or a full year of bookkeeping records, and the model sees all of it at once in context.
What does that actually do for a small business?
Picture a real estate office sitting on a big folder of old contracts, correspondence, and meeting notes on one deal. Before this, you would have had to feed an AI that in pieces because it could only handle a small chunk at a time. With a model like this, you hand it the whole thing at once and you get one answer that actually accounts for the entire file.
Give me an even more concrete example. How many pages are we actually talking about?
Roughly a mid-sized company's entire year of email archives in one conversation, printed out. That is a serious box of paper. The model reads all of it in one pass, and after that, it can answer any question drawing on the whole thing.
Why could earlier models not do that?
Because older models could only hold a much smaller slice in memory at once. If you wanted to run something bigger through it, you had to chop it into pieces, and the model would lose track of the earlier piece by the time it reached the next one. That is how you lose the connective tissue between the start and the end of a document.
Is this available yet or still just a promise?
It is only just rolling out broadly. So for now, we are watching. And once we have actually tested it, we will come back and tell you whether it works the way they claim. But this is a capability that is genuinely useful for any small business drowning in paperwork, bookkeepers, lawyers, real estate agents.
Second topic, and I think this one matters to a lot of people because it is not about some company, it is about you.
Go ahead, tell it.
A fresh survey of European small businesses found that roughly 1 in 5 EU small businesses is now actually using AI in their daily work. 2 years ago, that number was barely 1 in 10.
So the number is climbing fast.
Fast, something like 40% growth year over year, or more, depending on how you measure it.
And the ones who are not using it yet, why not?
This is the genuinely interesting part. According to the surveys, most people are not staying out because of high prices or complicated rules. It is because they do not have the know-how. Half of respondents, in some cases 2/3, said they simply do not know where to start.
That makes me think. So the real barrier is not that it is expensive, it is that people do not know where to begin.
Exactly. And that is precisely why we exist. You should not have to learn how to configure an AI system yourself. A good provider exists specifically to carry that knowledge for you.
Is there an area where small businesses are already using this particularly well?
Yes, marketing and sales. Smaller companies often get the most out of AI there first because that is where a visible result is easiest to get. A better post, a faster reply to a lead, a more accurate quote.
Give me a really concrete example there too.
Take a small freight or logistics company. Before, if someone messaged them at night, they had to wait until morning for a reply. And by then, they had often already gone with someone else. An AI-powered phone or chat frontline now replies instantly, even at night, logs the request, and by morning, the owner has a clean, organized list waiting. That is not a future plan. That is already how some businesses run today.
So the earliest payoff is not in some big flashy project, it is in the small everyday friction points.
Exactly right. Small businesses do not need one giant complicated AI system on day one. They need it fixed at the one point where they are actually losing the most customers. A missed call, an unanswered message, a quote that went out too late.
Is there anything else connected to this? I heard there's a financial angle too.
Yes, this is next. Anthropic, the company behind the Claude models, announced it now generates more annual revenue than OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT.
What kind of numbers are we talking about?
Anthropic's annual revenue is now running around $47 billion. dollars. Meanwhile, OpenAI is preparing to go public, and estimates put the company's value as high as $730 billion. dollars.
Those are not startup numbers.
Not even close, and that is exactly the point. The AI market is not some trendy experiment a few enthusiastic developers threw together anymore. This is now a serious, mature economic sector where the biggest companies are competing for real customers and real money.
What does that mean for me as a small business owner?
It means the technology behind your service is not going to vanish overnight because a trend faded. This is now a stable, serious industry competing to hand you a better and cheaper solution every year.
Third topic, a short practical thought to close on. With this much competition between the big providers, that actually matters to you as a paying customer.
How so?
When this many major companies are competing for the same customers, the technology running underneath tends to get cheaper while it gets smarter, which means it is worth periodically asking your own provider whether what you are paying is still proportionate to what you are getting.
So do not pay more than it is worth.
Exactly. A serious provider keeps upgrading the models running underneath and does not just quietly pass that cost on to you at a higher price. If your provider never brings that up, that is worth asking about.
That is a good closing thought. Competition among the big players eventually works in your favor, too.
That was today's episode. Quick recap.
A massive context model is coming soon that can take in entire document sets at once. 1 in 5 EU small businesses already uses AI, and most people are not held back by cost. They are held back by not knowing where to start. The AI industry is financially stronger than it has ever been, and competition between the big providers eventually improves your price and your service, too.
Friday is the last part of the series: regulation, the risks, and what to actually do with all of this.
If you want to know which of this actually pays off for your business, check out our sponsor, Apex Chatbot, at apexchatbot.com.
Subscribe so you catch the last part. See you Friday.